So today we're back on the Mercedes-Benz and there's quite an important job we need to do. It's the rear lower control arm, it's the outer bush that's actually in the hub itself. So yeah, we can't just replace the whole arm or anything like that because the bush is in the hub, so we have to either replace the whole hub with a bush in it or take the bush out. So it seems to be that you need a certain kind of tool. There was a Mercedes-Benz specific tool for the job, of course, but obviously that's really expensive and not really available anyway. So you need to go with an aftermarket option, and they can be very expensive. I was fully expecting to have to pay over €100, and even when I found a guy on YouTube who actually makes his own tools, because of the process that's involved, he could have made it or part made it and then also got an engineer to do the rest of it or a machinist to do the rest of it, but still it was going to easily be over €100 with the postage. Eventually, somehow, can't tell you how, but I managed to find the tool for sale on eBay coming from Poland, €30. Couldn't believe it. I'll leave all this for you in the description so you can easily find this tool and easily find this bush and get this job done. So yeah, well, now for the actual getting it done part. So we'll chuck a bit of fluid on the bolts and the nuts. Right, I think that should be okay. Now I'll take these bolts out. Yeah, that should be okay. Get some pieces. I also stole the salvage rebuilds method of using old coffee cups for your nuts and bolts to keep it all together. It's better to hit the nut or the bolt with the nut on it than obviously hit the bolt directly and then risk damaging the threads. And it's easy to replace the nut if you need to than the whole bolt as well. So I think now then, I should be able to lower the jack. And the arm should come down and give me access to the hub. I just hope that the spring doesn't fly out and hit me in the nuts or the head. Easy. Look at that. She's at it. Ooh. Talk about play. So yeah, of course I shouldn't be able to move that at all. Not at all. Not with my hands anyway, and maybe what, half a mil with a screwdriver wedged through it and putting a load of pressure on it should be absolutely firm. So yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't more play at the wheel, to be honest, but of course with all the suspension all connected doing its thing, it was okay. But anyway, so yeah, obviously we need to have a good clean up in here as well. But before we do that, let's try and get this bush out. I'm going to put some grease on the threads as well of the tool because it's going to have to work pretty hard and we want it to be nice and smooth. Takes a bit of fiddling to get it centered. Needs to be completely centered on both sides, of course. The tool's too wide, so it's not pulling all the way through, so I need to get that out now. Hopefully it's not stuck in there. Yeah, so this had started to pull through. You can see the washer on this side, how it's not flat anymore. and it was dug into that and it was pulling this through. So you can see this is bulged out now and it should have been flat. So the whole tool, the whole thing was getting pulled through. So luckily I stopped when I did. This is wider than this, so it will push it through to a point and then it gets stuck on this taper, and then obviously it won't go any further, and then before the tool, I mean this can't then go anywhere, so all that's happening then is it's pulling through there. Not good at all. So this obviously isn't really for removal, it's more for installation only, which isn't very helpful, but it is started. So what I'm going to try and do, so this socket here, you can see maybe it's thinner than the tool, and it's also a little bit thinner than the outer diameter of the bush that's in there and the one that we want to install, of course. So what I'll do is I'll use the tool and this, put this over here like this, draw it through, so the bush will be here and we'll push it through that way. But there is one catch, the thread doesn't go through this socket, so I'm going to have to drill this socket out, this hole in here, a little bit bigger. So there we go. It took about 10 hours to drill that hole out bigger, but hopefully that'll do it. Buy a Mercedes, they said. It'd be fun, they said. Now, to be fair, no one said that. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give. Hopefully I'm not just pressing the socket into the into the hub. So I'm replacing the bush with a socket that's also now going to be pressed fitting, and I can't get the socket out then. There she is. So there we go. Yeah, I machined it. It's a tight fit, it's tight clearance. Yeah, there we go. So the Polish tool and a 30mm socket, or just buy the right tool. Anyway, let's continue on. I need to clean that up, make sure that's spotless, and then I'll probably smear a bit of grease in there, and then obviously put some grease on the new bush, and then we'll slide it in. This, put it over, put it into position, and then put it through. Hopefully you can see something. I'm not just blocking the view with my fingers, but I think it just started to go in. Yeah, she's going in. Nice. This is something I didn't expect to see today. I thought I was screwed. Should be that. There we go. No play at the wheel now at all. It's nice and tight and solid.